Hey everybody, Milton Davis here. It is June, and I'm here to talk a little bit about what's been going on with me and what's been going on with MVmedia. And I'm going to start again because, hey everybody, Milton Davis here. I'm just coming on live for a little bit to get you up to date on what's going on, what's happening, what's going to be doing, what we're going to be doing this summer. As you can see, I am wearing my Con Carolinas t-shirt. I had the honor to be the special guest author for Con Carolina, and I had a great time. It's the first time I've been to Charlotte in a while, and my very first time attending Con Carolinas. John Hartness and the rest of the gang did an excellent job. I had a great time on my panels. Had a chance to, how I say, fellowship with some of my old friends that I see all the time. Like Nicole Kurtz and a lot of people coming from the Atlanta area as well. So I had a really good time. I really enjoyed it. I hope to be able to attend again one day soon, and make it part of my con circuit. Now, y'all know that I don't normally travel outside of the Metro Atlanta area when it comes to doing conventions. But I had been hearing about Con Carolinas for so long, and when they came along and invited me to participate as a special guest author, I couldn't pass it up. So took the trip up the road, had a great time, met some great people, ate some good food, and what more can you ask for? Oh yeah, and I sold a lot of books, particularly to one particular person. I got Dino'd. I know you guys have seen me post about that. Dino Hicks came to my table and he bought one copy of everything that I had, and I had over 15 books, so that was great. Would have had more, but my inventory didn't come in time, so I had to leave it in Atlanta, which is a great segue to something that's going on my website right now. There were a lot of books that I had ordered that I had hoped to have when I did Con Carolina, but unfortunately they didn't come in time. So if you go to my page, and I'm gonna put my little link down in here so you guys can see it. Excuse me as I lose um, communication with y'all for a minute. If you go to my site and you go to my homepage, you will see that we've got a bunch of books for sale. These are the books that didn't make it to Con Carolinas. I've got them for sale right now for 30% off. They're going to be on sale for as long as we have inventory. We've already sold a few books, so you may want to check out each book to see if it's something that you might like. And for those of you who are subscribers and members to MV Media, you may have received a discount coupon for an additional 10%. If you're not a member and you hear this right now and say, oh man, I got to get this discount, you join, let me know because I'll know when you join and I will send this coupon to you so you can get that additional 10%. But yeah, that sale is going on right now. We got a lot of good books available. You guys know my library, so just go over there, check it out, and take a look at it. Um, See, I got a comment here. Oh, that was my own comment. Well, anyway, speaking of cons, I do plan to attend a few more cons this year. I've been kind of tentative because, as you folks know, COVID is not done yet. People are still getting sick. So I'm being very particular about what I do and where I do it and taking my precautions as I do them. So some of the cons I'm going to be going to this year, I will be at Urban Nerd Con in Montgomery, Alabama. That's the last weekend of July. I will be there on Saturday, and I'll be doing a number of panels there. I'm really excited about doing this con because a lot of my friends that are going to be there, there's actually some people that are going to be there that I've never met face to face before, such as Ronald Jones. And if none of you have ever read Ronald Jones stuff, you should read it. Ronald Jones is one of the best military sci-fi people out there. I've been buying his books ever since I've known him, which has been almost as long as I've been publishing. And now I finally get the opportunity to take his books and fanboy him and go to Montgomery and get him to sign the books for me. That's something I'm really looking forward to. So I'm really looking forward to be there and getting that done. I'm also going to be at Dragon Con this year. I had not planned on being there, but a couple of things fell into place, which allowed me to be able to attend the con the way I've always wanted to attend it, and that means be there as a vendor. I'm going to be sharing space with a couple of my author friends, with Glenn Parrish and Kyoko M. And so MV Media will be in the house. Already lining up a few panels. So I'll be doing a few panels there. I'll be, selling books as well. So it's going to be a good time all the way around. And if things work out, I'll be able to raise enough money to pay for my parking because that's how y'all know how expensive the parking is for a Dragon Con. I also plan on being at Multiverse this year. I started doing Multiverse the first year that they did the con. I've been attending since then. I'm looking forward to that again because again, this is one of those new cons that has diversity and at the forefront. And whenever I can find a situation where I'm supporting cons that are emphasizing diversity as well as cons that are black cons that are focusing on black and Afrocentric, African diaspora content, I always like to support them as well. So that's basically the cons I'm going to be doing this year. If you guys are going to be there, let me know. That way I can say, hey, what's up? Maybe you can come by the table, buy some books. We can chop it up, things like that. Um, what I want to talk about next is playing the odds. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to everyone that participated in our Kickstarter, helped us raise the funds so we can actually make the first episode of Playing the Odds a reality. For those of you who are not familiar with Playing the Odds, it is a cyberpunk action animation that we are in the process of creating based on my novella, Playing the Odds. So like I said, we raised the initial amount and we're starting to work on it now. But like we said before, animation is expensive. So in the process, while we're in the process of actually creating these exciting 2 minutes of animation, we're also attempting to raise more funds to invest into the project so we can keep it going. One of the ways that we're doing that is by selling the novella, the Playing the Odds novella. All the profits from the sale of the novella will go to the animation. We also have some Playing the Odds T-shirts. If you go to my website and you click the apparel heading, you'll see the T-shirts that we have available for it. And again, all the profits from selling the T-shirts will go for the animation. The third thing that we're doing is that we actually started a GoFundMe, and the goal for this GoFundMe is $5,000. And again, every bit that we raise is going into the Playing the Odds animation. I'm gonna pop a link down here for y'all who are interested in it. We had some people who were who wanted to donate to the Kickstarter, but either didn't have time to do it or didn't really want to sign up for the whole Kickstarter thing. So here's another opportunity for you to be able to invest in the animation. The first episode will be done by January, and we're really looking forward to it. Mark and the team are doing a great job. We got Mark Vision Barnes, our lead animator. We got Paula Wilson doing our sound. We got Balaguno Jitati and yours truly working on the script. We got Otis Galloway, who has already created some amazing music for it. We got Scott Washington, who's an amazing modeler, and some of you have seen his work. We got DeGradier Daniels, who is a virtual reality expert. We got so many people on the team, and everybody's working together to bring this to life, and it's really exciting. I'm really loving it right now, and I think you guys will really be happy with the results. But like I said, if you've already donated to the Kickstarter, please get the GoFundMe link and spread it around. Share it with people who you think might be interested in this project. Um, Purchase the novella, purchase the T-shirts. All this stuff goes into investment and helps us to create, uh, raise the animation to another level, and also possibly be able to add more time to it as we get the funds to do it. So, I want to check the comments a little bit. I see Tim. Hey, what's up, Tim? Glad you're able to come in. Let's see who else has popped in here. I know there's a delay, so forgive me for that. I'm still trying to get comfortable with working with delays and stuff like that. I see Sherman. Yeah, Sherman. I'm representing for y'all, man. Representing. But anyway, let's talk about books. Um, we got a number of books coming out. You know, Usually by now I will have released a few books, but this time I decided to do it different. I decided to spend a little bit more time marketing the books, letting people know what's going on out there, and holding back a little bit and just holding my releases for the summer. And those releases will begin. this summer, this month, as a matter of fact, on June 19th. We've got 5 books that we're going to be releasing this summer. The first one, of course, is Terminus 2. Some of y'all might be familiar with Terminus 1. It was basically a collection of stories written by our local group, which we now call ourselves Atlanta Futurism. We focused on urban fantasy, and we wrote stories that were focusing on urban fantasy that takes place in the city of Atlanta. So for Terminus 2, we're continuing the theme of everything happening in Atlanta, but in Terminus 2, we're a little wide open. We let the authors write whatever genre they felt like writing. So we've got horror stories, we've got urban fantasy stories, we got science fiction stories, we got a wide range of stories, but they all take place in Metro Atlanta. We had 9 stories in the first anthology. In Terminus 2, we've got 15 stories, and we've got some stories from some of our brand new members. We got stories in there by Jessica Cage. We got a story in there by Daryl Robinson. So we've got new authors that have moved into the Metro Atlanta area that are participating in this anthology. So if you bought the first anthology, you'll find some familiar names in the second anthology, and you'll find some new names in the second anthology as well. And I forgot to mention Ed Hall is also has a story in this anthology. So it's going to be we had a really good time writing these stories as always, and I think you guys will enjoy it. The second anthology is one that's been a long time coming. I actually mentioned this anthology and started the process on this anthology, I think in 2017. And the first time we approached it, we got a few submissions, but we didn't get a lot of submissions. So I decided to put it on the back burner. So a couple of years later, I brought it back up, had a lot more interest. So I said, let's move forward. And that particular anthology is Spy Funk, another funk anthology. Again, this is an anthology that came up from the ideal as we talk about the spy genre. We talk about things going on, but again, we don't see a lot of black authors writing about, writing spy stories. I mean, they may be doing it, but we don't really see them out there. And so this is an opportunity to bring attention to black authors and authors who want to write black characters in the spy genre. And we got a wide variety of stories. We've got people that are really taking the whole concept of a spy and putting their own special spin on it, like we always do. Um, Great authors again. We got John F. Allen. Matter of fact, I'll read the list to you. I got the list right here. We got John F. Allen. We got Eugen Bacon, and everybody's been hearing about Eugen Bacon. She's been out there doing her thing, putting her stories out. Jeff Carroll, Keith Gaston, Joe Hilliard, William Jackson, Tiara Jante, B.J. Jones, Gavin Matthews, Balogun Ojitade, Guy A. Sims, Russell A. Smith, Rodney Turner, Denny Updikes, and Denny Upkins, I'm sorry, and Napoleon Wells. So we got a lot of great authors here. Most of these authors I'm familiar with. A few of them are new to me, but as always, whenever we have new authors that come in, they come in bringing the fire. They drop some great stories on us, and that's why they end up in the anthology. So that's another book that's going to be coming out this summer. We got Black Rose by yours truly. Black Rose is my first historical fiction novel. It was inspired by the artwork of Amber Denise. She did this very interesting image that just kind of caught me. And from there, I started to develop a story. I got a chance to get her permission to use that artwork as inspiration. Then I commissioned her to do the cover art. And it's a story that kind of takes place in something that I'm familiar with, in an area that I'm familiar with, the Swahili Coast, 15th century. It's the same backdrop I used for Changa Safari. However, this story is totally historical fiction. Puts a little spin on that Asian African connection, where in this story you have a African Swahili merchant, a woman who ends up bef- becoming friends of a Japanese Deamo. The Deamo has a situation that happens to where he ends up having to give his daughter to our Swahili merchant for her to take to China for safekeeping. However, the place that he thought was safe ends up not being safe. So Kessie, our Swahili merchant, is forced to take his daughter to the Swahili coast, to her home. And that's where the story begins. it was a way for me to take a look at that particular situation. And we always see stuff like that from one point of view, but for me, I took it from an Afrocentric point of view. And I'm really having a good time writing the story. The story is almost complete, and the novel will be available soon. Um, Another book that's coming out, another book by me, is Muscadine Wine. It's a collection of short stories that's based on um, me growing up in Southwest Georgia and on history of Southwest Georgia. I took some stories, some of them real life situations, some of them not. You'll have to figure out what is what, and put a fantastic spin on each of those situations. Really had a good time writing the story. Was able to be relaxed in it. Write the stories the way I talk. Just being so familiar with the subject and the landscape and the people just made it a fun made it makes has made it a fun book to write. I've written some fun stories in it. Some of them are serious. Some of them are more playful. But I think overall, you'll get a chance to take a look, read the book, and you'll enjoy it. Um, got a got some amazing cover art. I know you guys have seen it. It's great cover art, and all that together combines to give us a great book, and I know you guys enjoy it. Um, Another book that is coming out this year is something I've been working on for a long time. It's actually a special edition of Changa Safari. What I've done is that I've combined all four Changa books into one volume. And in addition to doing that, I've taken the best artwork that has been created by Changa Safari over the years, and I'm going to put them all in the back of the book as a gallery. And these images will be in color. So this is going to be a great book. It's going to be a big book too. It's going to be an 8.5 by 11 book. It's going to come back in paperback. It's also going to be available as a hard copy. And I'm hoping to finish that one pretty soon and make it available. It's not going to be cheap. Just let you know that right now. But it's going to be a great book. It's going to be a great collector's edition. It's something that I always wanted to do, and I'm very close to finishing it. And of course, I will definitely let you know when it's done. And for all those people who donated, uh, you should already have in your hands Changa and the Jade Obelisk, book number 2. It's done, it's completed. The rewards have been sent out. If you haven't received your book yet, you will receive it soon, and it will also be available for sale to the general public pretty soon as well. So Changa's adventures continue in Changa and the Jade Obelisk Book 2, which is based on the first Kitabu in Changa Safari, the Jade Obelisk. So what you're reading there is based and adapted from that particular story. So that's where all the good stuff comes from. Um, the last thing I like to talk about is something that was kind of sparked by what we saw earlier, and it was the fact that this is the time of the year when people release summer reading lists. These are the time of the year when they recommend what books you should be reading in the summer. There's been a number of lists that have come out, saying, if you're going to read Afrofuturism this year, this is what you should read. If you're going to be reading, diverse science fiction, speculative fiction, these are the books you read. And there's some great books on the list written by some great authors. But what tends to happen when these lists come out is that independent authors tend to be overlooked. And I understand where some of it comes from. A lot of us are not very visible to the people who are writing these types of articles. Some of us are not being published by some of the people who are writing these articles, so we tend to get left out. So what I've decided to do is to make my own summer reading list, and I'm going to do a couple of them. One of them is going to be based on books that I have read and new releases, to let you know what's new coming out this summer from the various artists writers that I know, and the ones that I read. The second list is going to be a more general summer reading list. It will contain books that not necessarily came out this year, but books that are out there that I think are good books that I think you should spend some time reading. A couple of books that I'll be talking about. Here's one by Glenn Parrish called Dragon's Air. It's a science fiction book, and it's a very good book with a very, I say, novel premise. This book is based on the fact, if you saw the interview I did with Glenn, of on dinosaurs, but not the dinosaurs we know. We're talking about dinosaurs that actually ended up and evolved into an intelligent species and left the Earth. Even before there were mammals, they left the Earth, and then millions of years later, they come back, and when they return to Earth, they find the Earth populated with us, and that raises some interesting dilemmas for them because they had some plans for the planet, and now they've got to deal with these smart monkeys, basically. Glenn does a very good job at talking about the hierarchy and the structure among these dinosaurs, evolved dinosaurs, as well as among the humans, and how the interactions between these two intelligent species. So it's a really good book to pick up. Another book that I'm going to be talking about is The Obanax, which is by Kirk Johnson. We originally had a chance to publish Kirk in Griot's, the first Griot's anthology. And now Kirk has come out with a collection of short stories, sword and soul stories, the main story being The Obanax. I read this book. It's a very entertaining book. I really enjoyed it. It's great to see another voice coming into the sword and soul genre, giving it some more expression and some more and defining it even more. So this is another book that you want to pick up as well. Um, Also, I know some other people coming out. Kyoko M has a new book that has a new book that's part of her Dragon series. Gerald Coleman has a new book coming out as well. And so those are just some of the examples of some of the books that are going to be on my summer reading list. So I hope you guys will check it out. And I also hope that you'll make your own summer reading list. I mean, list the books that you're excited about this summer. List the books that you're reading this summer. I mean, and if you're an author, include your own books. I mean, who's the person who's going to talk about your books more than you? So include your own books. Let us know what you got coming out. And then I hope what'll happen when we have all these lists come out that we will all like take a look at these lists and share them with each other. I'm hoping that'll be the biggest thing, that we will share these books with each other and share these lists with each other. So we'll get a more expansive, a more comprehensive uh, selection of black speculative fiction, Afrofuturism books that are out there for this summer for you to read, because some of you guys read fast and you need books. So what I want to do is make sure that you have those books, that you know where they are, you know how to get to them and stuff like that. So let me check my comments a little bit before I wrap things up, because I know there's a delay on this. Ronald Jones said he's waiting for my Demon Hunter novel. Yep, Ronald, I'm waiting on that too. Uh, I'll, I will eventually get to it. I know I will. There's so many stories on the back burner. You know, I got so much stuff out there. I've got the Mercurian that I want to write, which is another historical fantasy novel. I've got the Curious Cases of Martha Periwinkle, which is another Fredonian steampunk novel, and all these different novels are in various stages of completion. So I'm hoping that once I get all the books released out that I'm releasing now, that I'll be able to concentrate and focus on these other books and hopefully have some of them available for release by the end of this year. If not by the end of this year, by early next year. Yep, Tim Changa. But I will also wait for a minute to see if anybody has any questions. I see Tim also mentioned something about metahumans. Yeah, we're very excited about what's going on with the metahumans in Unreal 5. Being able to incorporate that technology into playing the odds, and also being able to look at that technology for future animation projects. I mean, I'm gonna say it. I mean, the fact of the matter is that all the tools are available for a determined group of people to be able to produce animation and to produce quality animation and to tell their own stories in the way that they want to tell it. It takes time, it takes investment, but the tools are there. You know, the technology has made it. I'll even go so far as to say technology has made it to the point where if you're a determined and focused creator and you have a good team of people behind you, you could create your own streaming network. I mean, YouTube could be your streaming network, but that's a whole other conversation that we might have later on with a group of people. It's just to talk about opportunities for us to be able to tell our stories in a way that will be undiluted from the powers that be. But again, thank you guys for your time. I've been running my mouth for a little bit. I'll skim the comments um, a little bit more and see if anybody else has anything to say. And I don't really see anything. But hey, Uh, just giving you guys a time, look, just sitting down with you a little bit and catching up on what's going on, what we're up to, what we're doing, what we hope to do. And I hope you guys will continue to support us. Like I always say, thank you for your patience and for your support. We've been at this for 14 years now. We hope to be at it for another 44 years. And we hope that we can continue to create stuff that will interest you and surprise you and entertain you and something things that you'll want to pass on to other folks and let them enjoy as well. So I'm Milton Davis, and y'all take care. Peace.